A friend of mine was a very successful man. So was an in-law. Very, very wealthy. And one day we went to visit him. And I was preaching to him. Sir, give your life to Jesus Christ, because you can't tell when you are going to need it. When I finished talking, he said, in-law. I said, sir. He said, follow me. So I followed him. And he took me through his mansion. One section, huge freezers. Some goats roasted whole. Another one, lambs roasted whole. Another one, turkey roasted whole. And so on and so forth. After we've gone around, and he brought me back to the sitting room. He said, in-law. I said, sir. He said, you say you have Jesus. I said, yes, sir. He said, do you have all these things? I said, no, sir. He said, go and preach to the poor. I don't need Jesus. So I said, yes, sir. You don't argue with your in-law where I come from. Some months later, I was in Lagos, and I arrived from the university, and I saw somebody that looked like my in-law, looked like him. Because the last time I saw him, his cheeks were rosy, he was robust. But now, he has almost become skeleton. In-law, he says, me. What happened? The treasurer of the company he works for colluded with the typist and one or the other fellow. They got him to sign an approval for, I think, 10 million pounds in those days, pounds, real pounds. After he signed, they added 10 because they've planned the whole thing. So the one who was going to do the typing did whatever needed to be done, and they took away the money from the company. When it was discovered, the company said, Oga, this is your signature. He said, that is true. This is not what I signed for. Well, find those people. And those people, of course, as soon as they got the money, they fled. And he was now on his way to jail. I said, why are you here now telling me? He said, I want you to pray for me. I said, in whose name? He said, in the name of Jesus, of course. But you say you don't need him. He said, that was then. This is now. I convinced him, he gave his life to Jesus. I didn't even have to preach now. And we prayed. And miraculously, those who stole the money disagreed. And they were all arrested. You don't know when you are going to need Jesus. You don't know when you will have to, that the only way out for you will be that name. If it's not already in your boat, when the storm comes, you will have a problem. The elders have a saying. They said, the cow that has no tail, it is God who will help